Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode. Today I'm going to show you how to plant potatoes, one of the easiest crops you can ever plant. Potatoes can be grown in your backyard. You mow your lawn, just keep dumping it in the same spot, in the same line, whatever you want to do. And all you need to do is push potato in there. That's it. After a little while it'll sprout itself, and you don't have to go to the store and buy potato seeds or anything like that. Potatoes are real easy. You go to the store, buy a bag of potatoes, you take that home, push it into either straw, dirt, grass, whatever you want to do. You can grow potatoes in a bucket, so at the end of the season, all you have to do is empty out the bucket, and that's it. You got potatoes. Potatoes are very easy to understand. The plant, once it's done growing, will turn yellow. The plant will fall over, and that's it. I would leave it in the ground or in your grass or whatever you want until you start to see the shoots of the plant start to turn brown, and that means the plant is dying. So just pull it out of the ground at that point in time and you'll have potatoes. Now, since I'm planting those here without doing any watering, granted I'm going to water them in, which you should do with any plant, but in order to get the bigger potatoes, it's very easy. Just water them. Pretty much the same thing you got to do with any plant. Since I'm not going to be watering them, they're going to turn out weird looking because it's all going to be based on rainfall. And that's what I'm doing with all of my plants. I water them in when I first put them in, and then after that, I don't do anything. I let them go. If they take off, good. If they choose to die, then they weren't meant for the woods here in the first place anyways. Most of the things I do are real easy. I make sure not to do anything for them. I put them in, I water them in, I just let them go. And it works out pretty good. Even in the woods. My potato plant, or my tomato plants, sorry, are growing all on their own. I've done nothing to them but put them in the ground, water them in, and then tie them to the ropes. They're growing well. The same thing's going to be for the potatoes, except I'm not putting ropes to them. I'm just going to push them into the straw that I have set on top of the leaves and let them go. There's many ways to do potatoes. You shouldn't need a big farm to do it. You can do it in your backyard. You can do it on your back porch. It's one of the easiest crops that exist today, which is the reason why potatoes are really cheap. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go push them in over here, and I'll show you how that's done. Alright, as you guys can see, these are the gardens that I set up with just leaves. I only threw the leaves down, a little bit of straw, some worm castings, and that's it. And that was just a couple of months ago. And if you look, it's all pretty much dirt now. I really didn't do anything to this, except some straw, the leaves, the moisture was held in, worm castings. Some of these have the coffee grounds in them, because it's already broken down pretty much. And that's it. Like, you don't have to spend money on things. All you have to do is get any kind of plant life that's going to decay over time, throw them in a garden. After about, it hasn't even been 6 months now, and this entire garden of leaves that was stacked this high has broken down, you know, to pure soil. So don't think you have to go out to the big box stores and spend all this money on stuff. You can do this with your grass cuttings. You can do this with anything, your tree trimmings, whatever you want to do. Don't spend big money for nothing when you can get it for free. And these are the ones, like I said, I didn't do anything to. I just threw the leaves in with a bunch of other materials. That's it. So I'll show you what I did. These are 2 refrigerator containers. These are your bottom crisper shelves. And all I did was threw some potatoes in there, left them in there. I didn't even spray them down to keep them moist. And since they make their own moisture, they started growing potato plants. Everyone calls them the eye of the potatoes. I'll show you what that looks like. Nothing big to it. I put them in water this morning and I soaked them for about 2 hours so that they would have the moisture they would need for a couple of days until it actually rains. That's it. No big thing to it. Now these are russet potatoes, and every single one of these eyes coming off of the potato are going to be a whole other plant. So each of those have a possibility of making a potato, 2 potatoes, 5 potatoes, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this one in half so the plants will be able to spread out. All I'm going to do is take the stuff, move it to the side a little bit, make sure that the only thing that's going to show is the eyes of the plant. That's the only thing that's going to get any kind of sunlight. And as long as that can see the sun, your plant will start to grow. That's it. That one's planted. Don't got to do anything else. Take the other side, do the same thing. Now it is important that the rest of the potato does not get any sunlight to it, because if you get sunlight to the rest of the potato, that means it's going to start drying it out. So all you want to see the sunlight is the tops of those eyes. That's it. It's the easiest plant to plant. Like I said, you can plant it in buckets. You can push it into a bale of hay, straw, whatever you want to do. As long as the lower portion of the plant, which is the potato, stays moist, you don't have to worry about it. It'll do its own thing, and you'll have plenty of potatoes. Buy a bag at the store, costs you $10, and you can have continuous potatoes for the rest of your life, growing in your backyard. Or you can keep paying money for potatoes. It's your choice. This one's got a lot of plants coming off of it. But I'm still only going to take half and half. Now this is a different type of potato. I didn't do anything to this, and it's already growing potatoes. These are, I think they were called finger potatoes, or 2-bite potatoes, because they're really small. I didn't even put any moisture to them, and as you see, it's already growing potatoes off of them. No dirt, no nothing. So you can see how easy it is to literally grow potatoes by doing absolutely nothing. So I'll put these in there too, and I'll put a giant mixture for all of these. I just wanted to show you the up close as to what is actually happening. And all you got to do after that, just water them in. And you're done. If you guys want to try to plant potatoes, it's the easiest first plant you can ever do. I know people say, I don't have a green thumb. That's an excuse as to why you're not doing anything. Literally, I did nothing. It's already growing potatoes before I even put it in the ground. Now my way of doing things is everything is no dig, which means I have no hand tools. I'm not using any extreme measures to do any of this stuff. Not using manures in this stuff. It's just broken down materials. So at the end of the season, when these things are ready to be pulled out, I'm literally just going to grab the plant and pull it out. Maybe move my hands around in there a little bit to get the rest of them. But I have used 0 hand tools in these gardens here. And you notice how easy it is to remove the materials. That's it. You shouldn't need any hand tools for potatoes. You shouldn't need any hand tools for things like strawberries. You got pure compost, everything will grow. Now, if you wanted to do crazy amounts of potatoes, then sure, they do a little bit better in dirt. But you don't need to go that far. If you wanted to grow them in the dirt, like I said, you can grow them in a bucket. You got a 50-gallon barrel sitting around, just throw some dirt in it, dump it on its side at the end of the season, you'll have a bunch of potatoes. Just like any plant, you need sunlight, you need water, you need soil. The good thing about potatoes, you don't really need soil. You can grow it in pretty much anything as long as moisture is held next to the potatoes. This is one of the plants I planted. It's called Fireball Bee Balm. Pretty little red flower. Reason why I planted them is because I want to have hummingbirds coming through. And hummingbirds are attracted to red colors. Just a heads up, guys. All potatoes that you have ever bought at the store are alive. When a potato dies, it turns to mush. So the easiest way to kill a potato is to either freeze it or to cook it. Easiest ways to kill it. Any otherwise, you can get a plant from a potato easy. Just has to be in moisture and a little bit of darkness. That's it. And the potato will start growing a new plant. Well, I hope you guys liked what you saw. Like I said, potatoes are one of the easiest things anyone can do. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like. If you want to see more videos that I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. The reason why people say that all the time is because if you hit the like button, it may put you into the rotation so more people can see your videos. If you hit the subscribe button, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours every year in order to make a single penny on YouTube. Ridiculous, right? What are you gonna do? Well, I'm done planting all my potatoes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, have fun, guys.